Last week, PlayStation Plus games were announced. An Alan Wake TV show is in the works. Jedi Fallen Order sequel has a title. Dead Space Remake has a release date. New development around Gotham Knights. There was a Nintendo Indie Showcase. Starfield and Redfall were both delayed. The Sony CEO says some horrible things to their staff. And the NPD numbers are in. Join us live every Monday at 3:30 Arizona time at twitch.tv/Lonercast and later on every podcast service known to man by searching Last Week in Games. What is up, boys? Welcome to Last Week in Games, where everything is video games. My name is Jake. That is Nick. Quincy Sapon. How you doing, sir?
Quincy, that's a good one. I'm doing all right. I am doing just fine.
Wow, love to hear it.
Yeah.
Any new developments? How was your weekend? How was your week?
Boring. It was very uneventful, very boring. Other than I might move up in my job just a little bit, just a touch. So, things are in the works, and I'll take a $2 raise if I can get one. But it's very slow going. Otherwise, my weekend pretty meh. School's getting out pretty soon, like this week. All the kiddos, this week they're done with school, so it's gonna be busy. It's gonna be busy for me. I might have to push the show back a couple of weeks because because I just might have to do some overtime or some shit like that. But it goes as it goes, It is what it is, and whatever happens, happens. As they say. I'm just looking at Sebastian Stan over here, and I'm like, damn, this dude's a good-looking dude.
He's pretty hot.
Photos of Sebastian Stan. I'm like, damn.
I need more Winter Soldier in my life, for sure.
Yeah. Well, did you see Pam and Tommy?
I haven't watched it, no.
Oh, it's good, man. It's good. He's got he plays that part really well, and it's just hot, man.
He's just fucking hot.
It's just hot. That's a sexy ass dude right there.
Oh yeah.
No, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Been slamming that Kendrick Lamar album nonstop.
It's an album. I only heard one song.
Oh yeah, he dropped the whole album last week, and it fucking rules, man. It's really, really good. A return to form for Kendrick, in my humble opinion. Not that Damn was bad. I liked Damn, but it wasn't as good as Good Kid, Mad City, or To Pimp a Butterfly, and this feels more in line with those. So, really, really great album. Really digging it.
I haven't given it a listen yet.
Yeah, definitely give it a listen. It's pretty good.
Would I relate to it not being from the streets?
I mean, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this album is about personal growth, and he has one song about understanding about his aunt transitioning to a man, and he has a song, about dealing with his father issues and stuff, and it's it's pretty relatable stuff,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, especially since now Kendrick has been a multimillionaire for fucking a long time, so
it's really hard to relate when you have more money than anybody else.
Yeah, well, and I feel like it gets harder and harder to sing about the streets when you haven't lived in those streets for so long.
That is true. And then when you start singing about shit that that you don't relate to anybody, and it's just
it comes off as fake.
Yeah, it's okay, great, dude, you got money. I'm just gonna be sad over here. But
yeah, I really like the album. It's really good. Definitely worth a listen. But that being said, Nick, what you been playing, man? What you been playing?
Dude, The huge.
The
The
huge.
huge, but also another thing. Uh Last week was Danielle's birthday, and I took her out for hot dogs, right? It was Tuesday. Took her out for hot dogs at a place called Dazzo Dogs, which is fantastic. Although, if you go to Dazzo Dog, it's cash only, straight up, so a little sketchy, but it's been around for 40 years. Um, don't get the hot dogs. You want to get the beer sausage. It is like 3 times better than the hot dogs. So if you go get the beer sausage with everything on it. Fantastic. So we did that, and also I bought her It Takes Two. So
Oh.
we got through the first level on
Oh, hell
Saturday,
yeah. Nice.
and it's cute. It's cute. It's dumb, like the 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 story starts out. It's just like, here's a situation. Oh, don't you feel bad? You're in it. It's very like, here's the characters. We don't set up enough time for you to even give a shit about these characters, but now you're them. It
Yeah,
just
but
kind
you'll
of
get to know
throws you into it.
you'll get to know those characters as you play.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. It's the first level. It's good game design. It's really cool. It's very quirky, you know. Um, there's a level where I had like nails and I could throw nails into certain boards, and she had like this hammer top, the bangy part of a hammer, and she would jump to those nails and swing on them with the hammer and then jump like platform that way. But you can like totally shoot her with the nails. Like, she gets impaled. And it's like, oh yeah, and she can slam your head with the hammer and you get stunned and shit. It's cool. The boss fights are interesting too. We've gone through 2 boss fights, and they have like interesting mechanics that I wasn't expecting. But they're fun. They're very fun, and can't wait to play some more of that. It got Game of the Year last year, so might as well give it a try. It was either gonna be that or Lego Star Wars. I'm like, let's
Well,
go with this other one.
and Dwayne Johnson, is working on a movie for it. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
so you
What
gotta
have you been playing?
prep for that Dwayne Johnson. Um, oh man, so I really wanted to like impress you, right? Because I wanted to come in, because I've been saying for months and months that I've been playing Triangle Strategy and fucking Horizon. Like that's what I've been playing. And
Mhm.
first of all, I just wanted to switch it up. I still plan on beating those games, but I'm like, man, I'm feeling pretty like burnt out on these games a little bit, because I've just been playing these same 2 games for fucking ever, and I just need something fresh. And my friend at work was like, hey, I have Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Do you want to borrow it? And I'm like, yes. And I wanted to fucking beat that game by the time we came here to talk, right? And
Mhm.
dude, I am fucking 1 dungeon away from beating this goddamn game. I'm
Wow.
so fucking close to beating this game. I just didn't have quite enough time. And I was going to
Damn.
beat it last night, but my back hurt really bad and I got off work and I was like, I just need to fucking lay down. But that being said, I've been playing Link's Awakening, and I love it. I love the game. I think it's really good. I never played the original, so like I don't have like any sort of like nostalgic feeling for it or whatever. You can tell it was on a Game Boy, but at the same time, while you're playing it, you're like, "Damn, I can't believe this was on a Game Boy." Um, I mean, not
It's yeah, yeah,
not
it's a
graphically,
remake.
not graphically. Graphically, obviously, it's completely different, but like as far as the layout and the structure of the game, it's pretty much one for one as far as I've read and looked up. Um, and I've just been impressed by like the puzzles aren't too grating. They're not too like obtuse. You can figure them out. They're fun to figure out. They're not so easy that it's like Last of Us, where it's like move this box over here and you could cross the bridge. It's a lot more complex than that. But not so obtuse. Like I feel like Ocarina of Time sometimes got a little like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to look this up.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
And I haven't really had that with this game. There's been a couple moments where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And if I had stuck with it longer, I probably would have figured it out. But I'll admit right now, I looked up a guide.
You wanted to beat it. You wanted to beat it in the
Yeah,
thing.
I was trying to beat it by this goddamn show. But that only happened 2 times where I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was like, oh, it's so obvious. I was just being dumb. That's just my old man, stupid brain.
Yeah, stupid, dumb, stupid brain.
Yeah. Although the last dungeon I was in, oh my god, it's so fucking annoying. You're like, yeah, a lot of like going back and forth to try and figure stuff out. And there is a lot of that in this game where there's a lot of like back and forth to figure something out. And it's a little tedious at moments. Like, I don't even like there's like these power-ups that you pick up if you kill an enemy, sort of like a star power in Mario, right? Where if you get it, it gives you like a boost of power. I don't even like picking them up because it brings up like a little dialogue box and it's just annoying and it just slows down the game completely. And there's just moments like that in the game where it's like, oh man, I gotta like go through this door, go back through this thing, and that stuff's a little annoying. But it's not too bad, all things considered. I really, really like it. The biggest issue with this game, and I cannot believe that this is the case with this game, is there's frame rate issues with it, like severe frame rate issues when you're in the open world. Like it, I can't believe it. From what I heard, it works better in handheld mode than on the big screen, but I've been playing on a TV, so like, yeah, it's got some serious frame rate issues, which is unbelievable for a fucking Game Boy game, and also a game that came out 3 years ago now for the Switch. Yeah.
Dude, the Switch. Okay, this is a whole other Easter basket the Switch is old.
It's old.
It was bad at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like the tech was not very good. It wasn't comparable to anything that was out. Like you put it up against a PS Vita, and I don't think it stacks very well. It probably stacks pretty equally. But the Vita was like 6 years before, and what we got from the Switch is just like, yeah, it's easy. That's it. That's all. It's literally a Game Boy for simple games, and they're trying to put these games out there that are like taxing on this poor machine, and we get frame rate issues on the simplest games, and they don't make the games for the system. I feel like they make the games for other systems, and they're like, but it could also be on the Switch. So, right. But that's not an excuse for the Zelda game, Link's Awakening, because it was only made for the Switch. I just don't know how they get away with that shit.
Well, and it's a really good looking game, but yeah, it has some frame issues. I love the look of it. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, dude. Like it's unfortunate. I love my Switch, and I've actually grown like a whole new appreciation for it this year in particular. Like over the past year, I've just been playing my Switch a lot, and I love like the ease of it and the fact that I can just plug it into a dock and I have it up on the TV. Like it's just easy. It's fucking simple, easy, man, and like the UI is pretty simple. In fact, I wish it was a little less simple. But like, yeah, it needs an upgrade, and it could be the same exact system, just like better specs. And I wonder when we'll get that. It has to happen eventually. I imagine we will get some sort of upgrade.
I would hope so.
I don't think it's gonna happen like this year. I don't even think it's gonna happen next year, but the year after that, I could see them doing here's the Switch Pro, and
I would hope so.
Sort of like the new 3DS. I could see them doing something like that with the Switch.
Right. Yeah, I could see that too. And they kind of did with the OLED version, but they didn't up any of the specs of it.
Right. They just made the screen better. Although that screen real estate does seem nice. As someone who plays their Switch mainly on the go,
yeah,
like, I am tempted because I do love my Switch, and I love it for indies. But yeah, it's limiting, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
For sure.
it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, but that being said, uh, Link's Awakening, fantastic game, really great. Has its issues because it's old as fuck, but like for an old as fuck game, it's really a special game, and I could see why they remade it because it's really fucking special. Um, there's just like moments where like you'll go into a sewer and there's fucking Goombas just walking around. And you're like, there's a fucking Goomba here, and
Yeah.
and it goes like 2D side scroller, and like everyone has like pets, and like their pets are fucking chain chomps, and it's
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there's a mission where you have to bring this chain chomp around you, and he's like barking like a dog, and he helps you kill things. Um, yeah, there's just great moments like that. One of the enemies was literally Kirby. You know, like hilarious. It's great. I love it. It's a
The best.
fantastic.
That's the best multiverse game.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, spoilers. It's all a fucking dream. So
Oh.
they don't tell you that. They
Oh.
haven't even told me that, but they're not very subtle about what's going on.
Mm. Yeah.
um. Anyway, let's move in to the tidbits. These are some tidbits of news. Granted, this first thing we're going to talk about is kind of a bigger piece of news, but I just want to talk about it first, just because I feel like it. Okay, is that okay with you, Nick?
That's fine with me, man.
Over on the PlayStation blog, which I have up here, they posted this thing about a bunch of games coming to the new, what's it called? PlayStation Plus Essential,
That's it.
and
That's
yeah.
it. PlayStation Plus. The new
Uh,
PlayStation Plus.
I'll just go ahead and read some of these games that they've announced. Not all of them. I don't feel like reading all of them, but here's some games. Here's some first-party PlayStation Studio games that are coming to the PS4 and PS5 game catalog. We've got Bloodborne coming, Concrete Genie, Days Gone, Death Stranding Director's Cut, which is cool, Demon's Souls, Destruction All Stars, Everybody's Golf, Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut, God of War, Gravity Rush 2, Gravity Rush Remastered, Horizon Zero Dawn, Infamous Second Son, Knack, the most important game, God damn it,
Game.
Little Big Planet 3, Loco Roco, Marvel's Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Medieval, you know, bunch of games. Last of Us Remastered, Left Behind, Until Dawn, Uncharted 4, Uncharted Lost Legacy, and Wipeout Omega Collection. So that's cool. Resogun as well. Just a bunch of, bangers.
Solid games. Yeah, solid games that everybody should play.
Solid first party lineup. Then there's a third party lineup for PS4 and PS5 games. Here's some of them: Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Batman Arkham Knight, Celeste. It's a great game. City Skylines, Control Ultimate Edition, Dead Cells, Far Cry 3 Remastered, Far Cry 4, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, For Honor, Hollow Knight, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Resident Evil, and a bunch of other stuff. Less impressive lineup, but still cool. Interesting note here about these games is apparently PlayStation has made a pretty heavy deal with Ubisoft about getting a bunch of their games to come to their platform. So
makes sense. You know, who else are they gonna do? Bethesda.
Yeah, it seems like the move since like Xbox has made the deal with EA. It's like, yeah, Sony's gonna make the deal with Ubisoft.
Yeah,
seems like the move.
Although it's a bad move right now, considering Ubisoft is at least on my shit list.
Yeah, but EA is on my shit list too. So
yeah, that's fair.
How do you feel? How do you feel about these particular games here, Nick?
I think they're good picks, man. I think they're good picks. It's a start for their new service. You know, that's about it. And it's not gonna make me buy it, considering I have a PC now, and it's just one of those things. Like, if I want a game on PS4, it's there. I'm going to buy it. That's just how, or PS5. I'm going to buy it. If I'm gonna buy a game, if I'm want to play a game on PlayStation, gonna buy it. It's only gonna be on PlayStation, and yeah. So it
I
does
d-
nothing for me personally, but it's a good list. It honestly is a good list.
yeah, I tend to agree with you just in the fact that like most of these games I've already played or own
Mm-hmm.
already.
Yeah. Yep.
Just because I'm a fucking gamer,
That's
dude.
it, boy.
But yeah, I think the biggest hurdle for both this and Game Pass is the fact that if you're playing, it's a little different for Game Pass because it's on PC, but if you're playing Game Pass on Xbox, right? Or if you're playing PlayStation Plus on PlayStation, there's a tier where you need Xbox Live to play online, plus uh whatever it's called, Game Pass. But there is like the
Right.
Ultimate Edition, just like this, where you need the $60 a year thing plus the other thing, or there's the Ultimate Edition or whatever. I say now that you have these services that are like a bunch of games and shit, I say just make online free. Because
Yeah.
I would be more inclined to fuck with this if I wasn't already part of like your
Yep.
online service. And like,
Yep.
I'm like, I don't want to deal with the hassle of like figuring out, I don't want this forever, but I do want the online stuff. And if I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to downgrade, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a
Yep.
little confusing. And,
No, yeah. Absolutely.
but we'll see when it comes out, I suppose. Some more info here, Nick.
Uh-huh.
Classic games catalog. Here are classic original PlayStation and PSP games. Here are from PlayStation Studios. We've got Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, IQ Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, Super Stardust Portable, and third-party partners. We've got Mr. Driller, Tekken 2, Worms World Party, and Worms Armageddon. Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty unimpressive list, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
What I'm confused by with the PlayStation lineup is, or like the original PlayStation lineup, is on the PS3, if you recall, Nick,
mm-hmm.
and the Vita. Even there was a huge catalog of PS1 games.
Oh yeah.
What the
Oh yeah.
what the fuck happened to all those games? Why can't I go buy them on the PS4 right now?
They're gone, man.
Yeah, it's fucked.
It's
And
old school, old news.
yeah, it's fucked. Put them on the, at least put them on this. Put some of those games on here. Here are some PlayStation classic games catalog remasters that are coming to the service: Ape Escape 2, Ark the Lad, Dark Cloud 2, Fantavision, Hot Shots Tennis, Jack 2, Jack 3, Jack X Combat Racing, Jack and Daxter, The Precursor Legacy, and a few other things. And then third-party games, we got BioShock Remastered, Borderlands, The Handsome Collection, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, Kingdoms of Amalur, Re-Reckoning, Lego Harry Potter Collection. Um, Also pretty unimpressive. A lot of these games were just like the games that were already on PS4 that were like the PS2 games, you know, on
Yep.
PS4.
Yep.
Pretty unimpressive.
It
Uh,
is. But they gotta have something, right?
yeah.
They gotta start with something. And you're not
Uh,
gonna be impressed with everything that's out there.
yeah, true. I just wish there was something like, here's a bit like, I don't know, put the fucking Grand Theft Auto trilogy thing that just came out on there or something. Some
I,
sort of big hitter. I don't know. And then
yeah.
here's some original PS3 games. This is via streaming. PlayStation Studios. We've got Crash Commando, Demon's Souls, Echo Chrome, Hot Shots Golf, Hot Shots Golf World Invitational, Infamous 1, 2, Infamous Festival of Blood, Ratchet and Clank, Quest for Booty, Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time, Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, Resistance, and then a few other games that are third party games. Fear, Lost Planet 2. Remember that game? God damn.
Yeah,
Ninja
man.
Gaiden Sigma 2, Red Dead Redemption, Devil May Cry, and a couple other things. Thoughts?
Just more fucking games. More games. But it's streaming, so I don't give a shit.
Yep.
That's how I feel.
You know what? What pisses me off, Nick, and I feel like this will be remedied soon. If I had to guess, I imagine we're about to get a big collection of these games, but I've been thinking about it a lot. Okay. Because here on here we got Ratchet and Clank, Quest for Booty, all the PS3 ones, all the PS3 Ratchet and Clanks, which aren't as like beloved. I know people really like them, but the beloved ones were the PS2 games. There's no way to play fucking those OG PlayStation or those OG Ratchet and Clank games on a PS4 or a PS5. You can play them on PS3. I don't want to pull that thing out, you know?
Yeah.
That's a huge issue, I think. They need a remedy. They need to put those OG Ratchet and Clanks on here. But that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to put a bunch of them on there. They're missing a bunch of shit from all the old stuff, and I don't know. It's not for me.
I just want to play Ratchet Deadlock again, god damn it. I loved that game so much. No one talks about it. It's underappreciated. Nope. It's fantastic.
Okay. All right, calm down.
No.
Calm down. Relax. It's okay. It's okay.
Moving on from that news. Alan Wake TV series is in the works at AMC. Cool. They're making an Alan Wake show.
That is a good game to make a show out of, I think.
I agree.
It has the intrigue, it's got the drama, it's got like the whodunit sort of situation, you know, it's very it makes sense for a TV show.
And you can also change the story and no one will really care that much.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to line up 1-to-1 because it's just a kooky game anyway, you know?
Yeah. It's a great game. Can't wait for the sequel too.
Very exciting. Man. That would be really cool.
Next titty. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order sequel called Star Wars Jedi Survivor, according to Jeff Grubb. How you feel about that name? How you feeling?
Makes sense. Considering spoilers, he doesn't die at the end. It could also be just a working title. Could be. Know, when you get these rumors of games that are so far out, it could just be like, you know, Project Survivor.
Do you think it's that far out?
I think we could see it this year, not come out this year, but we could see like trailers for it this year. So 2 years, 3 years maybe down the line. I'm excited for it because the Obi-Wan show is coming out, and that there's a lot of parallels between the Obi-Wan show and Jedi Fallen Order, and I think the actor Cameron Moynihan or whatever his name is, Monahan, is going to be in Obi-Wan, and they're going to meet in the show, and I have a feeling there's going to be some crossover within this next game as well.
Is that confirmed?
Just my predictions. It's not confirmed. Oh, okay. It's my prediction.
Because that's hot. That's hot. Because he looks just, you know, they modeled him to look just like him. So
then it looks fantastic. They did a great job with it.
That would be the timeline. So yeah, that.
I was waiting for him in Book of Boba Fett. You see his little droid come up.
He'd be a lot older at that point.
But it's not his droid. I guess it's just a BD unit. Is what he has on his back. And I'm like, oh my god, are we gonna get to see Cameron Mohan or whatever his name
Bobby Moynihan. Sorry.
Yeah, and it didn't happen. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. They put a BD unit in it. So I think that's kind of like a little like teaser. Like, hey, remember that?
Possible.
Remember that?
It's
yeah.
possible.
So hopefully.
Yeah, I could see that happening. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. And then just like give this guy his own fucking franchise and shit. Yeah. Why not? I'm sure the actor would be fucking down to do that for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
I could see the sequel coming out this year. I don't think it's gonna happen. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's possible it could happen. Um,
Yeah, it could.
if not, I think it's coming out next year for sure.
Yeah.
Because I just think about the the timeline of the first one. They pumped that thing out real quick after Titanfall. Uh, like
Yeah,
real
they
fucking
really
quick.
did. But what have they released since then? You know,
Exactly.
Apex. Yeah. So,
Exactly. So they've just been
yeah,
working on this.
yeah.
And I do know, like, I think they're working on a bunch of different things, but
Hmm.
yeah, I could see them just being like, let's take the first one, we'll work out the kinks, because I had a lot of issues with that game.
Yeah.
And I hope they work out the kinks, and that I come into this next one and I'm like, damn, they did it. Uh,
Yeah. But what really gets me is the fact that like it's a Star Wars game and I'm gonna buy it regardless.
yeah,
You know, so even if it's bad, I'm like, oh,
they
man,
got you. They got you by the nuts,
they
dude.
got me, man. Star Wars is my favorite. I
Yet
have
you picked that fucking uh, Dwayne Johnson game over the Lego Star Wars. You fucking traitor.
what?
It Takes Two. You just said
Yeah,
that earlier.
I picked it.
You,
Oh, over Star Wars. Yeah, because you know it's a year old, and I'm
yeah.
kind of waiting for the price to go down on Lego Star Wars. To
Oh
be
yeah, yeah.
honest,
Same,
It Takes
same.
Two was $40. Lego
Yeah,
Star Wars is 60. So I'm like, I'll wait.
yeah. I feel the
I'll
same.
definitely get it
I'll get it for
as
30
long
for sure.
as long as we can beat it in a timely fashion. It Takes Two, then I'm it. The next one will be Lego Star Wars for sure.
Yeah, I want that Kirby game too.
Eh,
Kirby. And I want that Grand Theft Auto game, but I only want it for $15. You know.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't even.
I just
You
watched
couldn't
the
give it to me for free.
Digital Foundry video on it. On, like, since they've patched it and stuff, it looks a
Uh,
lot better.
I'm sure
It's
it looks better, but there's just that I don't like it.
oh well, you just don't like those games.
No, no, I just don't like the fact that it was that at the start. Like that's just so scummy to me.
I'm just
You know?
upset that it wasn't a full remake of San Andreas.
Yeah,
That's what it should have been.
should have been.
But I'm okay with this as long as it runs fine. But also, I'm not paying fucking 30 or 40 or 60. I'm paying 15 or less for that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
anyway, moving on. Um, Dead Space remake is set to release in January 2023.
I don't
Uh,
believe it. I don't
yeah,
believe it.
I don't know. Do you have any history with Dead Space?
I do. I love Dead Space. I played all but the third one. Um, and they're fantastic. And I can't wait for this one, but I can wait if it's not done. You know, it's
Yep.
like if it's not going to be done, I won't pick it up. I'm actually planning on waiting for reviews for this one because I just don't. Especially if it comes out in January, I'm like, that's kind of not a whole lot of time. You know, they announced it. I saw the production of it. They had like a behind the scenes, like this is our ideas, and I'm like, okay, cool. So they have some things, but then we didn't see any of the levels or the world building or anything like that. So it could be like, oh, and you're going down this hallway and you fall through the world because they didn't see this giant ass hole because they didn't take the time to go through the game. So I don't know. It looked like it could be done next year, January. That's some pretty optimistic. That's an optimistic outlook for sure. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I have no real history with Dead Space at all, so maybe this will be my chance to actually get into the series.
oh dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
If it's good, you have to.
Yeah.
One of
So
the best horror games.
it's cool. It's a remake. That's what I wanted for San Andreas, the sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving right on, right along. The guys that made Genshin Impact are making another game called Zenless Zone Zero. I'm sure that this will be another gacha game, and it'll make all the people love it and hate it at the same time, just
Yep.
like fucking Genshin.
Yep. I watched the trailer for this. It looks cool. The characters look great. All those guys at MiHoYo or whatever they're called, the the developers of this game, they make really flashy, uh, modern characters, and I dig it.
Yeah,
All of their games
I
kind of have
agree. I saw that
that
trailer. I was
style.
like,
It's like, damn,
that
it's got
looks hot.
style, dude.
It
It's got
does.
style. It's like Persona 5 sort of style, but also it's a little different
But
when you
will it
fight.
translate? You know, that's always the question.
Yeah,
Will it
yeah,
translate to the
yeah,
actual game? I don't know.
yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. I don't know. What scares me is it's coming out for the iPhone as well. So I'm like,
Yeah,
ooh, is it just gonna be another one?
I think it is. I think it's
It
just Genshin again,
it could be just Genshin again and set in a different universe,
just
which I'm okay
restarting.
with. If people want to play it, I probably won't play it. I'll try it. I'll play anything. But if it's anything like Genshin or exactly like Genshin, I'll probably burn out on it in a week. So
Well, I think this is what they have to do with those gotcha games. Is like, once they gotcha with a bunch of people who are like way ahead because they spent a gajillion dollars, then all the people
yeah,
who are just starting are like, what the fuck? So then you just start
yeah,
another game,
you
put
just start
everyone at the
over.
even levels. Everyone has to repay again, do
Yeah,
it again.
he gotcha again.
Yep, they gotcha. Um, anyway, Multiverses gets a new trailer that has a full VO. This trailer fucking ruled, dude. I don't think this game is gonna be good at all, but like that trailer was fucking sick, man.
I don't know. It looks better than the Nickelodeon thing. I'll say that.
It
Just
looks
from the trailer
to
alone.
me, it looks on par with that. It,
I mean, it does. It's no Smash Bros. Let's
yeah.
let's be real. It's not going to be any Smash Bros. They don't have the characters for it. But then you see Iron
I think
Giant
they
say
do
Superman.
though, and like that's what's upsetting is like, dude, Warner Brothers has the fucking characters to make a kick-ass Smash Bros, and they just don't do it.
Oh, they're doing it now. They got fucking Iron Giant in
They
the
do,
bitch, and he says
and
Superman, and it's cute as fuck, and
yeah,
it's
he's.
very very wholesome.
I really like the Harley Quinn and Tasmanian Devil. Like
Yeah,
that is just
that
like the
was good
perfect
too.
duo.
And they're going full out with Shaggy.
Oh
Going
yeah,
full. Somebody
just
slices
embraced
a
it.
sandwich. Arya Stark slices a sandwich, and he's like, "Why would you do that?" And he fucking rages out and punches Bugs Bunny in the face. I'm like, "Damn, dude, they are not pulling the punches on this one.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are
They
full."
embraced the meme.
The meme is strong,
I
and I appreciate it honestly.
I saw one clip of gameplay that made me fucking die laughing. It was
For this
Tom.
game,
Yeah, yeah. It was
oh,
Tom
Tom and Jerry.
of Tom and Jerry fighting some other character, and he falls off the map, and he does the fucking Tom scream. The "Ah!"
Yeah.
the classic Tom and Jerry yell. That made me
Hmm.
die laughing. I loved it. Uh, so yeah, Warner Brothers has like a great collection of fucking characters, and
They
yeah,
do.
yeah, I don't think they embrace it enough.
Well, they're definitely starting to with Space Jam 2.
Yeah, a little on the nose with that one though.
Yeah, but I mean that's what this game should be. It should be on the nose and like
Yeah, yeah.
kind of cringe because that's kind of
I wish
what
they did it
makes it.
more like Smash Bros. Though. Although like this ad was doing the Smash Bros. Thing, it just doesn't seem like the gameplay is gonna hold a candle to Smash Bros. And I don't know why. Why not hire someone and put the resources into like make a Smash Brothers competitor? No one
I
ever
agree.
actually does it. The closest we
I
got was fucking PlayStation All Stars, and they didn't embrace it enough.
enough. Yeah. Yeah.
To like just fucking clone
That
Smash
was that
Bros.
was a very close one. Honestly, that was so close. And if I bet you if PlayStation All Stars came out again with a little bit more love, it would do just fine.
Well, the biggest problem with PlayStation All Stars was just the way you defeat enemies. Was just like you
I
had
I
to have a
honestly
finisher.
liked it.
I didn't
I
like
honestly
that.
liked it. But yeah, you're right. It is kind of off-putting when you
It
have
just
to
made
hit
it
that
feel
hit.
like all the punches beforehand were pointless.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Warner Brothers, Gotham Knights gameplay for Red Hood and Nightwing. That happened. That was a thing that happened. Nick, did you
Sure
watch
did.
this?
I watched most of it until it got to the point where they ruined Tim Drake for me. And
How'd they ruin Tim Drake for you?
dude, he's just a fucking meathead.
You mean Jason Todd?
Jason Todd, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
not Tim Drake. The fucking Jason Todd, Red Hood. Like, he just comes over and I wasn't listening to it with sound, but they're talking about like how Batman's gone. And I'm like, is that fucking is that Red Hood right there? God, what the fuck happened there? Like, what the absolute fuck? I absolutely hate the character design, and
Yeah.
a bunch of the movement just seems fucking tacked on. Like
Yeah.
the fact that because fell into the Lazarus pit, and he's undead, he can create these fucking neurological platforms that he can jump across on the
Awful.
buildings. I'm like, dude, that is the shittiest. If your character needs a new ability for them to get around, you're doing it wrong. You
I
are
don't
absolutely doing it wrong.
I don't hate the idea, like, oh, it's like a different take and he's like got this like ghostly power or whatever. It just looks fucking stupid.
It
It,
looks so fucking
it
stupid.
looks
Like
terrible, dude.
I saw Nightwing's fucking like wing glider. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then they showed off Red Hood's way of getting around. I'm like, that is the dumbest shit. That looks really bad. And the fact that he uses non-lethal bullets is like, they're not sticking with anything about Red Hood at all. Like,
Well, and it sucks because the DLC in Arkham Knight, there was a Red Hood DLC, and that
yeah.
DLC fucking smacked, dude.
And it was only like 15 minutes long,
It was
but it
so
was so
short,
good.
but
It
it
was so
smacked.
good.
I was like, I want a
Yeah.
whole game of this, and they, just
Yeah.
use that shit.
Just
That shit was
you
sick.
either use it or don't use it. Like, use somebody else. You don't have to have Red Hood if he doesn't fucking fit into your theme. And it doesn't seem like he fits into this theme.
No, he does.
And
Well, because like, why the fuck would Red Hood take over for Batman in the first place? Doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
he wouldn't. He
Yeah.
fucking wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird as fuck. Also,
I don't care.
another thing with this game is it was announced last week that it's only coming to PS5 and Xbox Series. Where initially it was announced to come to PS4 and Xbox One as well. A lot of people are like, oh, that's good, it'll look better or whatever. I take this as like they haven't gotten this game dialed in. That's how I take it, is like this game is a mess and it barely runs.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I'm not expecting anything crazy from it, honestly.
I sense that this game is going to be Avengers,
Yeah.
the game,
Yeah.
but for Warner Brothers.
Yep.
So we'll see. We had another event last week as well. We had a Nintendo Indie World showcase. Thoughts?
Head empty. Very meh. It was very uninteresting, uninspired. I couldn't get into it. I watched the whole thing at ×2 speed, and I was like, okay, well, I don't care about any of these things, so I don't even remember what was shown. To be honest, I can't remember.
I think there was a couple cool things that were shown.
Probably.
And I appreciate that Nintendo like does these.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's worth checking out. Just to see like if you're in anything. But yeah, it's nothing to call home about. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe one of those games that was shown will become like the next fucking Hollow Knight. Who knows?
Yeah.
But moving right along to the news. This is our actual news here. Here is a statement from our boys over at Bethesda. We've made the decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. The teams at Arcane Austin, who are making Redfall, and Bethesda Game Studios, who are making Starfield, have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best. most polished versions of them. We want to thank everyone for excitement for Redfall and Starfield. That energy is a huge part of what inspires all of us every day and drives our own excitement for what we are creating. We can't wait to share our first deep dive into the gameplay for both Redfall and Starfield soon. Thank you for your support.
I knew it. Fucking knew it. Fucking knew it. We got what, one trailer for Starfield?
Yeah, not even really.
We got like a teaser and then barely a trailer. No gameplay, and it was supposed to come out this year, and it's like, yeah, no, that's not fucking happening. Um, they're not done with this game. And I mean, I wouldn't put it past, Bethesda for putting out an unfinished game because they do almost every single time. But I had a feeling. I was like, yeah, that game's not coming. That game doesn't exist right now. Like it's barely a game. And apparently I'm right. And they need to finish some shit out because they can't put it out because something's completely broken. Which is expected, you know. As for Redfall, I don't give a shit about Redfall. Redfall looks bad. Redfall looks bad.
This man's coming for the fucking jugular.
We didn't get a trailer for that either, so I can't believe that. Like, I didn't even think it was supposed to come out this year, to be honest with you, because I haven't heard anything about it. I wouldn't be surprised if they completely cancel that game.
I would be very surprised if they cancel that game.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean it's I'm actually kind of surprised by Starfield in particular. Because they put a date on it so fucking early, right?
Yeah.
Which in its own way is like really frustrating because it's like why put a date on it so early? Why? And I was still convinced up until they announced it that it was coming out. Not only because they put a date on it so early that I was like, oh, they must be pretty confident that that's the day, but also, Bethesda is no stranger to just dropping a trailer 6 months before a game comes out. They did it with Fallout 4. So I was like, oh, well, they're just gonna do that with Starfield, right? And Redfall, I'm not surprised by because I mean, didn't Arcane just fucking release Deathloop like last year? So I mean, I'm sure they have multiple teams working on this shit, but like, I don't know, seems pretty early to be releasing another game. I also wonder how much of this does have to do with Xbox buying them. Yeah, and they were if this was still just Bethesda, if Starfield would have come out, and Xbox is like, no, this is not ready. You need to put more time into it. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. They just kind of looked through it and went, "You're putting this quality out? We need to go on back to the cutting floor and figure out what the fuck is wrong with this game before we put this out."
Yeah, or just like fucking fix the bugs. We don't want another Fallout 4. Not hating on Fallout 4. I think it was a fun, great game. I actually really enjoyed it. But like, yeah, we just want something better. Especially, this does bring into question, like, what does Xbox have this year? Nothing. That was it, dude. That was a whole lot, man. Starfield was their game this year.
But to be fair, we are still going to get not E3 with Xbox in the next month. So they might have something to show that might not be as big as Starfield, but
Well, that's what I was gonna ask, right? Because I feel like the big game that they were gonna show was Starfield, and I still think they're gonna show it. Like they're still gonna push it. And as far as like when Starfield comes out, I don't know. Maybe they do it in March. Maybe they do it in February because it works so well for Elden Ring. I don't know. But it does bring the question though, like, what that can't be their big game that they show off for this year now. So what is the big game that they show off? Is there a big game? What do you think?
Yeah, I think there's going to be something, and it'll come out this year, or they'll say it comes out this year, and it'll blow us away. It will be like, holy shit, this is cool. It'll be like out in the end of this year, for right in time for Christmas, and then it'll get delayed. And
I don't think they could delay
I
another
think
thing.
I think that's what's gonna happen though. Like yeah, the gaming right now is so bizarre, right? Because every time somebody announces something, it's like you can almost guarantee like 90% chance that that game is actually not going to come out when they say they will. Just put like, put 6 to 9 months more onto that date, and then that's when that game will come out, you
Right.
know? And it's just sad. It's sad that we live in a world like that where we are just constantly lied to. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much of it's like lying or
no, it's not lying, right? Because well, I get it is lying
but
because it's
also
they're like,
COVID
hey, yeah,
happened.
it'll really okay. We can't keep using that excuse anymore,
I think we
right?
can.
People are
I
people are
think
back at work.
but I think you can make that excuse for a project that takes, you know, 7 years.
Yeah,
If
but
your
then
development took place in the time of COVID, it's gonna
right.
be
If you
affected by
say,
that.
okay, so if you announced it before COVID was a thing, sure, I'll give you that.
Right.
If you're like, this is the time frame it'll come out, and then COVID hit and you're like, oh shit, well, that's not the time frame it's gonna come out. I get that. But if it's like after COVID, after all the lockdowns, the everything's happened, it's like you don't have an excuse. Fucking put that thing 3 months out because you know you're not going to release it. And if you do, you can be like, hey, we're releasing it early. Don't even worry about it. Like, I feel like that's way better than delaying it because of COVID. And the companies should put into effect that the fact that that COVID is a thing now. It's like, yeah, COVID come back and we could close our thing for, you know, however long
Uh
it takes.
Zuthon in the comments here says they can also claim some Activision Blizzard games as their releases or showings to technically. I don't think they can. That hasn't gone through yet. So I don't even think they can rely on Activision Blizzard yet to
I'm sure they will though.
I mean, I'm sure they will
Call
show.
of Duty? Call of Duty? Come on.
Yeah. I am sure that will be at Xbox. I mean, there's a history of them being there anyway. But
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be like, this is an Xbox game. Like, I don't think they
Right.
can do that yet legally.
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah.
like partnerships between them,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
see that. I think what is possible, what I think is totally possible, what we might see at the Xbox showcase as like the big game coming out this year,
Mhm.
um, is Hellblade. I could see them being like, yeah, Hellblade comes out in November.
Yeah.
And
Oh, because that game had gameplay,
yeah,
you
oh
know?
yeah, and a long piece of gameplay
Yeah.
at
So
the Game Awards.
I would not be surprised if that comes out this year
Yeah,
in
and
the
I wonder
slightest.
like maybe they had that slated for February or March of next year, but they're like, hey, can you guys get this shit done a few months early? Because
Could
Starfield
be.
needs the time.
Could
Uh,
be.
I could see that happening, and honestly, I think that'd be good for Hellblade, just to like give
Mhm.
them a moment to have like, hey, we're the
Yeah.
big Xbox game.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that came out this year.
Yeah.
There's also rumors that we could see a Forza Motorsport at this event, and that could come out this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all
Yeah. The
possible.
thing is, if you're gonna have a game like that be like the start, you better make sure it's a fucking good game, right?
Right.
If that's the only game, if that's the only game that's coming out on your platform, and they're like, "Hey, you take center stage," you better be fucking sure that that's going to be a good game and it's people want it. Do the R&D on that and make sure people actually give a shit about it.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just going to be another fucking brick in the boat, and it won't do anything. And yeah,
Yeah, I think this also puts Game Pass in a bit of a weird situation, where yeah, Game Pass is a great deal, but like what a lot of people are signing up for are like we want these exclusive Xbox games, and there are none.
hmm
There aren't any. Um
yeah, yeah.
so it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird thing where I think it puts PlayStation in a good position this year to gain some of that market share with their new service, because it's almost like they're doing the same thing. Because PlayStation's like, we're not putting our new games on there, and Xbox is like, well, we are, but we don't have any new games.
Right.
So it's like the same sort of service almost. So it puts PlayStation in a pretty good position. But then, as soon as PlayStation has the upper hand, right, they drop the ball. Okay, they drop it hard. They fumble it, and this is a transition, a fucking amazing one, might I add. Sony PlayStation staff fume over CEO's abortion comments. This comes from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. Some staff at Sony Group Corp are seething following an email Thursday from the head of PlayStation that urged employees to respect differences of opinion on abortion rights before entering into 5 detailed paragraphs about his 2 cats' first birthday. The email opens by addressing several current events, including the recent leak of a draft U.S. Supreme Court opinion that signaled an intention to overturn the landmark 1973 case Roe v. Wade, which legalized abortion nationwide. Many corporations have felt pressure from employees to comment on the case, but most video game companies have remained silent on the matter. There are a few notable exceptions, however, such as Bungie Inc., the developer of Destiny, which called the decision a direct attack on human rights in a blog post last week. Standing up for reproductive choice and liberty is not a difficult decision to make, Bungie said, receiving largely positive reactions from its employees. Sony agreed earlier this year to buy Bungie for $3.6 billion. In the email seen by Bloomberg, PlayStation President Jim Ryan didn't take a stance on abortion rights, instead writing that the company and its community are multifaceted and diverse, holding many different points of view. He wrote that we owe it to each other and to PlayStation's millions of users to respect differences of opinions among everyone in our internal and external communities. Respect does not equal agreement, but it is fundamental to who we are as a company and as a valued global brand. Ryan then went on to write that he would like to share something lighthearted to help inspire everyone to be mindful of having balance that can help ease the stress of uncertain world events, saying it was recently his 2 cats' first birthday and elaborating over the next few paragraphs about his cat's birthday cakes, their noises, and his desire to one day get a dog. In an internal discussion viewed by Bloomberg, which haven't been previously reported, employees at several PlayStation studios expressed their displeasure at the tone of the email. Some women wrote that they felt their rights were disrespected or trivialized by the message. One employee said they'd never been so mad about a cat birthday before. In addition, by Jason on Twitter, Jim Ryan's email, seen by Bloomberg News, does not take a stance on Roe v. Wade or abortion rights, but does declare that dogs really are man's best friend. They know their place and perform useful functions like biting burglars and chasing balls that you throw for them, which can be interpreted any way you'd like. There's a bit more to this story, I suppose, that I want to add real quickly. Insomniac plans to donate $50,000 to reproductive rights organization, but Jim Ryan is still kind of like, hey, don't talk about it, though. You could donate the money, but don't talk about it. And the guys at Insomniac they seem a little like, we're not happy about this, but Jim's the boss, so he can't really say anything else. Yeah, it's just like a shitty fucking situation. Like,
though?
He just fucking didn't have to say anything, man. And
no, you're right. You're right. Okay, but you don't deal with workplace drama a whole lot where you work. Like, there's drama, but like you don't have a whole lot of people that see differently where you work. Where I work, there is a whole lot of right-winging people where I work, and I'm kind of a left-leaning sort of person, and I don't agree with everything that they say, and I'm like, can we fucking stop talking about this because we're at work? It doesn't need to be discussed. This is not a political stand that we're here. Let's just do our fucking jobs.
Right.
Like,
And I get that.
I do not need to hear this from the news, the radio, the podcast, the gaming podcast, everyone and their mother. I don't need to hear about it.
I get that, and
everywhere.
I think it's okay if the email was just like, hey guys, let's like not talk about politics and work or whatever. But like, I don't know, man. I think this is like not the way to handle it. Like it's like tonally just fucking weird as fuck. The part about like dogs are subservient. You guys are my dogs, basically, is like how I would interpret that.
I did not get that.
Really? When he's like, dogs are really man's best friend. They know their place and perform useful functions like biting burger. Like, to me, that comes off as like, dogs know their place. You should fucking know your place.
Dogs really are best men. They know their place and perform useful functions.
And I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's worded pretty poorly.
But like, on top of that, just being like, you know, this is just a difference of opinion, and you know, we shouldn't talk about this shit. For a lot of people, this is more than just a difference of opinion, and
right. But that,
especially considering like he just goes on to like talk about his cats and shit, and it's just fucking weird, man.
You know, I agree with you that it is weird. But man, I stumble over my words all the time, and I say the wrong shit at the wrong time all the time. So like, I'll give somebody a pass, even if like dogs are really man's best friend and they know their place and perform. Like, that doesn't sound very good, but maybe for the giving him the benefit of the doubt, maybe he's just like, cats, like, this is all taken. We haven't seen the email. We don't. But these are just all reports. Right, we don't have the email in front of us, so it could be just paraphrased and how some people interpreted it, and it's one of those things that's kind of like, I wasn't there, I didn't get the email. I feel like if I read the email, I'd be like, whatever. Like, it's a fucking work email. You know, there was probably, honestly, with all the shit going on, there's probably people with disagreements, and shit got a little heated, and he's like, yo, this is a place of work, and you're here to work. Let's not do anything too like, everybody's got their differences. In a lighter note, I've got 2 cats that just had a birthday. Like,
I don't know, man.
It's a kind of a bad transition.
It just seems like a backhanded way to like talk about this, like, respect differences of opinions. It's like, no, I will not. I will not. And you can't tell me to not talk about this shit. You can tell me to not talk about it at work, but like, I'm going to talk about it. And it seems like it was implied in the article. If you read this entire article by Jason, it goes into a little bit more detail. But like, it seems like he's like, don't post on social media about it. Like, don't like talk about it
okay.
at all.
Right. But companies do that all the time, dude.
If my company came to me and said that, I would be pissed too.
Yeah, you have every right to be pissed, but you also work for the company. You also work for the company.
But they don't own my socials.
No, they don't. But they don't have to hire you.
Sure. And I don't have to support them as a consumer for making the wrong stances. Exactly. And that's what we're talking about right here. Is they're taking the wrong stance.
They're taking a neutral stance, which
is a non-stance, which is
better for every big ass thing. You have people.
Disagree.
Disagree.
I think a non-stance is a stance against whatever it is.
I don't agree with that. I do not. I believe a non-stance is like, we're not fucking political leaders. We're not the ones who have to.
To me, this isn't even a political issue, though.
It is definitely a political
It's
issue.
a human rights issue, I think.
Right. Okay. Well, all right. Yes, I agree with you. It is a human rights issue, but in the context of a company is in the middle of two different human rights issues. Should we have slaves? Shouldn't we have slaves? You know, and there's a 50-50 split in population. It's like,
Dude,
we're just gonna fucking go the way because we don't deal with slaves. We don't have slaves. We don't deal with them. We are not even part of the same fucking conversation, leave us out of it. That's it. And I completely agree with that. If they're not giving abortions out, they're not advertising abortions in their games, they're not advertising pro-life in their games, they're not running for a political office, it has nothing to do with Sony. Leave your shit, leave your politics, leave your human rights, leave your SJW bullshit out of any workplace things, you know? And I completely agree with that. On your personal shit, do whatever you want. On anything that has to do with the company, as if like, hey, I work as as the art director, right? And you just go on a soapbox and you're like, I work for this company and blah 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 blah. That's completely wrong. And I completely agree with them. Like, don't take a fucking stance because they are not included in that fucking any of that. It's a video game company through and through, not an abortion clinic, human rights activist, fucking white supremacist, anything. They are video games. That's all they do. That's all they should talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree because, like, I think, to go back to your slavery example, if slavery was up for debate and Jim Ryan said, we don't take a stance on slavery. We respect your opinion, though. I'd say, fuck you. That's stupid as fuck.
Yeah, and that's for you to say. But, like...
Yes, it is. And that's what I'm saying.
I brought up the slavery thing because it's very easy to understand to both sides. It's like, yeah, slavery's bad, right? And we all agree on that. Right now is the shittiest time of America that we're in with this Roe versus Wade thing, and it seems to be a lot of fucking people who have a lot of power don't want people to get abortions. They want to control the uterus. For whatever fucking reason, I don't understand. I do not get that.
Right.
But that's my personal thoughts. Those people are also consumers of PlayStation, right? If you are going to completely either which way, you can say, hey, abortions are good. You'll lose all those people who think abortions are bad.
No one's saying abortions are good.
Well, no, okay. You're literally taking the wrong thing that I'm saying, and you're just like, that's not what I meant. Like, that had nothing to do with what I just said. Slavery is good, right? They could have said slavery is good. Everybody who thinks slavery is bad would drop them. I think they're riding the line of, we don't give a shit. This is not on our wheelhouse. We are not these people. That's it.
Sure, but if you ride the line on slavery, I don't fuck with you.
That's fine, and they will lose less people doing that than they will flip-flopping to one side or the other.
My thing is, they're not going to lose people either way. So why not make a positive stance? That's my whole thing.
Because it's not their stance to make.
But it is, though, because fucking companies and corporations make stances about all sorts of shit all the fucking time.
And you know what that is? That's just marketing.
So why is this the exception? Like, I don't understand. Like, fucking, why is it okay? And like, do your employees not matter? Like, you said earlier, like, we don't hire slaves here or whatever, but we do hire people who this bill affects.
Yeah.
So you taking a non-stance is fucking actively working against them.
But just as equally, they hire people who are also for
oppressing women.
Yes,
then they shouldn't
exactly.
hire those people.
They have no choice.
You
do not hire people,
and that's what we're arguing for, Nick. Is freedom of choice, baby.
People based on their political disposition. You do not. That is that is illegal to do. Are you left leaning? Are you right leaning? Oh, we're right leaning. Well, we're not going to hire you. That is illegal to do.
Okay, but
based off of race, color, ideals, anything. If they fuck up in the job, you fire them. If, it doesn't meld with whatever the job is, you fire them. It's after the fact. You have people who work hard working for your company, doing their job. You hired them. They see the other side of the coin. And they're like, I think nobody should get abortions and we should control all the women. That's a fucking, that's the game designer. That's a game director.
The staff are the ones who are upset about this. They're the ones who are outraged by this. It's the staff that are upset by this.
There are there are thousands of staff in Sony. Or is it just PlayStation? It's Sony PlayStation. There's thousands of people in PlayStation, right?
Right.
And we are just hearing about a couple of people. But
we're also hearing about how Insomniac plans to donate money, and they're like, don't talk about it. They're trying to silence people, dude, and they're saying, don't post on your socials. Like, that's fucked.
I don't think that's what it is. I think
that is what it is. Read the article. Read the whole article. That is what it is.
It's a secondhand article. You don't know what the email said.
Pretty much. Let me pull up the fucking article, man.
You don't know what the email said. You have no idea anything that goes on. You are just reading what you have read from a secondary source, from people who are upset about it.
Right, and I think
people came to Bloomberg and went, "Hey, this is an email that we got."
I can't open it because it's a fucking limited number of it's paywall.
Yeah. So they went to Bloomberg and they're like, "Hey, we're upset about this. You should publish an article. This is, topical." And they're like, "Oh, hell yeah, that's a story." It's like anything else, right? It's literally just Fox News, it's CNN, it's anything. It's just like anything that is a news story that we can put out because 3 people in the building took this email the wrong way and we're going to swing it in a way. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that could be what happened, right? Because there's no walkouts. There's not thousands of people going, this email is bullshit. We're walking out. We're leaving. We're quitting. We are not hearing about that. We are literally hearing.
Right. Well, this is, it's one topic. Like, it's not the end of the world, but it is fucked. I think it's fucked to not make that decision. That's exactly Mischievous Vixen in the comics here. It gets complicated when businesses are the ones who are funding politicians. So yes, their opinions do matter. Of course. That's exactly right. So like, why can you fund this politician, but you can't make a stance on this? And then especially like right after Bungie like comes out and is like, yeah, this is wrong and we're going to stand against it.
And that's for them to decide. Like, you're absolutely right, 100%.
Yes.
Like when
Ukraine it is for them to decide, and I think it's a shitty decision that Jim Ryan made.
Well,
and you don't apparently. So
I know.
I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
Business is business, and business should always be business. As soon as you get business and politics, you end up with capitalistic assholes that we have right now in politics, because businesses lean one way or another.
It's all politics. Everything's politics.
I do not agree with that. And I'd rather not believe that, because as soon as that's true, then we are truly fucked.
I mean, capitalism versus socialism versus communism versus that's all politics. Everything is politics.
That's economics.
Right, which is a subsect of politics, and we can have political arguments about it. Like, everything is political, and you're either taking a stance or you aren't. And people who work for you a lot of people who work for you are the people who are affected by this decision that's being made.
I agree.
So why wouldn't you stand up for your employees and say, no, it's fucked. We don't agree with it.
So what is that going to do? What is that going to solve?
What's it not going to do?
But no, what is it going to do? For Sony to go, okay, this is where we stand on this topic. What is that going to change?
I mean, it's not like Sony's going to change anything, but like it can make
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
What are you saying, though? Because like
nothing that they say matters. The best course of action for them to take is to just ride the fucking line.
So you don't think anything Sony says matters, like at all?
Politically, no. They have no political sway one way or another. So
You don't
why the
think
fuck?
so?
They are not a.
They're a
they have
fucking media corporation, dude. They create media, which is fucking political.
Which is all, and you play those games, and most of them are all left leaning, right? So you know where they fucking stand.
Sure, but apparently
there
not.
You go. There you go. That's all you need to know. They have there's nobody that I know that is from their fucking corporation. There's no, Jim Ryan isn't a politician who has a vote in this, you know? So why even say that?
He funds politicians.
If Jim Ryan was a politician, absolutely he should take a stand. He's an elected official, blah blah blah, whatever. Yes, he's not. He works for a company as whatever he is. I think he's CEO, right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's what he does. He is a businessman. That's all that it is. I don't know.
And that's a problem.
I understand the frustration. You should have
compassion for your fucking employees.
I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Okay. I don't know the man personally. He could be the biggest asshole.
I mean, he said respect people's differences when the thing is literally anti-free choice.
Like people said the same shit when it was masking, you know,
and that wasn't
people don't
okay.
Want to mask up. It was stupid, but
and if your company
company
came out and was like, "Oh, respect people's differences on fucking masking," that'd be stupid as fuck, and we'd be like, "What are you doing, Jim Ryan?"
Can I tell you a story? There was a Subway right next to my work. And the little old lady lived there. She worked there, and she like owned the place, right? All of these mask mandates were out the whole time. You go into the Subway, the lady's like, "What the fuck are you doing with a mask on? Like that's so stupid. You're an idiot." Sort of situation.
Okay.
2 months later, business closed down. She either died or lost a lot of business, right? It's if you are going to make a stand, you have to be prepared to lose whatever it is after the fact, right?
Right. So what are we talking about here? I don't understand. Are you saying like that position is not what should be upheld or what? I don't understand.
No, I'm saying
because I'm not Jim Ryan, and I am myself saying he's a fucking idiot.
What I'm saying is, if it's the wrong decision, then we will see it affect something in the next couple of months. Is all that story was saying. If this non-decision is a decision and it affects people, we'll see the fruits of that decision come to light, and then maybe we'll even hear Jim Ryan going, "Oh, well, we stand this way," and double pedal back and fall onto one side or the other. Right.
But that doesn't happen without us talking about it.
Okay. I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it. It is definitely.
Then what are you doing?
I'm just putting my own thoughts into this fucking story.
Well, and I appreciate it.
I personally think, as a business owner,
I respect your opinion.
This is the way that
Mr.
is
pro-lifer over here.
Fuck you. This is the way that it's most like it's the path of least resistance for now. until, something happens, and then, they'll double back. But if they go one way and it fucks them, not saying it would, because obviously it's what we're dealing with is stupidity. So if they go one way and it fucks them, they can't really flip flop. So if they ride that edge, they ride that razor's edge in the middle, and it fucks them, and they get more people going, oh, you should really make a stand, then they might flop one way or the other.
I just like, I don't, oh, my computer's freaking out. It's freaked out a bunch this time. But I just don't always agree that it's like always take the path of least resistance. It's like, I just don't always agree with that. And we see it all the time, Sony's no exception to this, like, or Sony's not the only one to do this, I guess. Like, we see it with Disney all the time, right? Where like Disney's like, we take a stand, but then they send the movie to China and they cut the scene out or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
And like, I'm not saying this is the end of the world, for Sony or for Jim Ryan or whatever.
Right.
All I'm saying is, like, wouldn't it be cool if Disney didn't do that? And they're just like, fuck the market in China. We're taking a stand and we're doing the right thing. Because sometimes doing the right thing is better than taking the path of least resistance. And also doing the right thing can also lead to more change in the future. Just because you're setting an example. You're a leader and you set the example. I don't know.
You're absolutely right. I 100% agree with you. But also, money.
Yeah, and I get that.
If Disney didn't take out that scene in China, then they would lose the China money. You know, they have to pay for everybody's salary who works for Disney. That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, they got to pay Bob Chapek fucking millions and billions of
Yeah,
dollars.
well, I'm not saying
Jim Ryan's got to take in the gajillion dollars every year.
You're absolutely right, but I'm not saying how divided it is. Right, but they still have to pay for people, right? Regardless. So, if they don't send it to China, that's a bunch of people that aren't going to see this movie. That's a bunch of revenue they're not making, and then everybody gets paid less, but the big guys still get paid.
Or you could just pay the big guys less, and then everyone gets paid the same.
In a perfect world, dude.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you don't get to the perfect world without
change. You're absolutely right.
Without standing up to it. I don't know. And like, I agree with you. Like, I was going to say that too, like earlier. Like, I get it. Like, having a fucking email go out and be like, hey, let's just not talk about politics at work because it causes drama and it's not great. That being said,
maybe he could have done it without saying anything about cats and dogs. Like, I feel like he was trying to lighten the mood, but it may have just kind of like
right. And and if
belittling the situation a little bit too much with
and without the phrase of respecting people's differences, and we're a company of like multifaceted people or whatever, like it just comes off like really like I don't know,
passive.
And
passive.
It doesn't come off great in my opinion. I if it were me, I would just be like, hey, let's not talk about politics at work. End of story.
Yeah, that would be the email, honestly.
Yeah,
it would just be
one sentence,
one paragraph email that says, there's been a lot of talk about this Roe v. Wade. We'd rather keep it at home in your personal lives. Please do not. Yeah.
Don't talk about this at work. Let's just focus on work. Like, I get that. That's fine. I get that completely. I just feel like the way the email was handled was poorly optimized. I think the fact that he's basically telling Insomniac, who was up until sort of recently, I don't think I don't think anyone proofread that email. Yeah, and that's the other issue. Is
it's straight from Jim Ryan, probably.
Like, Jim Ryan is a fucking multi-millionaire, and this man doesn't have like a PR representative when he's talking to his, I don't know,
email I don't know.
I understand
he sends out emails all day.
I understand it's like an in-house email and you're sending it to your employees, but when you're talking about something like this and it's a hot button issue, like, this shit's gonna get leaked. Like, you have to know, especially when you have like this many employees. Like, you have to know this shit's gonna get leaked. You have to know this is a controversial thing. I don't know.
Loose lips sink ships, man. Loose lips
sink Jim Ryan ship.
But that's what we don't know anything about any Sony games coming out. Everybody seems to be, you know, hush hush about whatever's coming out, and I haven't heard a leak from a Sony game. So,
Yeah.
the fact that like that hasn't
Well,
spilled over, why would
that's not
this,
like a
random
controversial thing,
email?
though.
Yeah,
Those
but why would this
executives have someone
random
else.
email spill out here? It's just for me, I wouldn't think about it. I would just be like, send the email.
Yeah, but you're
Send.
also not the CEO of fucking Sony.
You're right. You're
like,
right. I could do a better job.
Well, yeah, but like also, I think if you were the CEO of Sony, like you'd probably send it to like your HR or
copyright. Yeah,
or
fucking
whoever.
copywriter.
Like you're a fucking high up guy. It's like I need to make sure this is good. I need to make sure I'm talking to my employees right.
You're right.
I don't know. It's just
You're right. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
It should have been proofread or, like sat in, in like a draft for a while so that he could stew on it. Just like, maybe we'll delete the thing about the dog. Or, like that didn't sound right. But I don't know.
Who cares?
I don't know.
We'll all
Crazy
forget about it next week.
Yeah, something will happen.
We'll all forget about
That's how the news goes, right?
Like, yeah, I don't know. Jim Ryan always does some weird shit, though. He's always saying some weird shit. So
I mean, he's a millionaire, so
yeah. Anyway, let's get into the MPD numbers. Last week,
can't trust him.
Last month, the MPD numbers came so fucking late,
really
and this month
late.
They came right on time. So, Nick, have you looked at the MPD numbers at all?
I haven't. I'm pulling them up right now.
Okay, hold on. Don't look at them yet. Okay.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I know the first one. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna ask, can you guess the first one? But okay.
Okay. Yeah. Lego Star Wars is the first one.
Yeah. Pretty incredibly, honestly.
Isn't it? That's pretty. Well, people are fucking hyped about Star Wars right now. So
yeah. So at number 1, we got Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Number 2, we've got Elden Ring. Hold it up. Number 3, we've got MLB The Show 22. Number 4, we've got Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Number 5, Nintendo Switch Sports. Number 6, Call of Duty Vanguard. 7, Horizon 2 Forbidden West. Number 8, Mario Kart 8. 9, Gran Turismo 7. And number 10, Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Dude, fucking Mario Kart 8 in number 8 is just the fucking...
It's there.
It's just gonna be there. Mario Kart 8, number 8, NPD numbers every single time. It's just gonna fucking irritate the shit out of me.
Indeed.
Cool.
Forever.
Yeah, I think Lego Star Wars at number 1 makes sense. It's really the only game that kind of came out other than Switch Sports. And people are hyped about Star Wars right now. We just had Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan's coming out. Star Wars is pretty popular, popping off right now. So
the really impressive thing is the next chart, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But yeah, it's fucking nuts. Star Wars, people just really hyped about it. After all the controversy that happened over there at the Lego Star Wars game too, where it was like production hell and a bunch of people saying like they were overworked and work culture not great. They got it out and they made a fucking...
It produces a good game, man.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does.
The fucking blood, sweat, and tears is no lie.
You know? I mean, it's a chicken or the egg thing. You don't know if one causes the other.
It's not correlation. It's not causation. It's correlation.
Right. Yeah, they maybe could have made that game just as good without.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll never know because hindsight's 2020. So.
Exactly. We'll never fucking know. Could Kubrick make The Shining without abusing the fuck out of what's her name? Shelley Duvall? Like,
yeah, we'll never know.
We'll never know. Probably, but
because he did, we got The Shining. So
it's a great movie. So I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
It is what it is.
It's probably better for the world though, just to be nice. Yeah, maybe.
Staying on that human rights train. Probably treat your workers nice. And,
like maybe we won't get Lego Star Wars, but we'll still get something like, I don't know,
human decency.
Nice handshakes.
At minimum, human decency, and that's fine with me.
Top 10 selling video games year to date. At number 1, no surprise here, Elden Ring is number 1. But here's the really surprising thing, Nick. At number 2, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Damn, son.
1 month at number
Damn.
one. It's
In 1 month.
like we don't know how far ahead Elden Ring is from Lego Star Wars, but like it beat out Pokemon Legends Arceus, which we know sold a bunch.
Sold really well.
Granted, it is a platform specific game. Same with Horizon. But like Call of Duty, well, let's read it. Number 3, we've got Pokemon Legends Arceus. Number 4, we've got Horizon 2 Forbidden West. Number 5, we've got MLB The Show 22. Number 6, we've got Gran Turismo 7. Number 7, we've got Call of Duty Vanguard. Number 8, we've got Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Number 9, we've got Madden NFL 22. And number 10, we've got Mario Kart 8. Dropping from number 8.
Slipping. It's slipping, and I appreciate it. It was 8 last month, but it's slipping. And as soon as it's off of this, I'll be happy. But you know what's going to happen? Fucking, they're going to release the next set of tracks, and it'll go right back up.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be like off for a month, and it'll just be right there at number 8 again. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just wild. Lego Star Wars is like that high up. Like I knew people were pretty excited about it, but I'm surprised that did this well.
Weird jumps in here, honestly, because you look at MLB The Show 22 last month, it was number 11. It got bumped up to 5 this month. That's very strange. Like, what is baseball season like coming to a close, and everybody's like playing the playoffs of baseball, World Series of baseball right now?
Yeah, I don't know. That is kind of weird, huh? I do think there was some baseball stuff going on, so yeah.
Could be. I don't know. I don't follow baseball, so.
Me either.
But also Call of Duty Vanguard, the lowest fucking Call of Duty year to date I've ever seen.
I've never seen it this low. Absolutely insane.
Number 7, crazy. And Black Ops isn't even on here.
Yeah.
Or whatever, Cold War, whatever. That's usually they're right next to each other.
I think we'll see like a return with Modern Warfare or whatever, but like people really just don't like this one that much, I guess. And I love that they tried to blame it on World War II, but I don't know.
I blame it on World War II because it was honestly not bad. Like they took all the stuff from Modern Warfare 2019 and kind of threw it in here and cobbled together Vanguard, and like the gunsmith and everything, not bad. Just World War II, kind of a shitty era to deal with. You've got old
it's just
guns.
Played out.
It's old. You know, nobody cares.
Yeah, if someone had like an interesting take on World War II, sure, but like it just kind of feels like you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
But I don't. Did you see like Warner Brothers talk about how they are thinking about sort of doing the Disney thing where they're considering selling like Rocksteady and all those studios and just like licensing out their.
That would be cool.
Licensing
out their licenses?
Yeah, to different studios.
Their IPs? I'm down for that.
I just wonder like
if that happens, we get a multiverse like Smash Bros, right? If they're just like, yeah, you can put our characters into the same vein as we get fucking Fortnite is what we get. You know, it's just like every character you can think of because they're all open licenses that, just cost X amount of money to get. It's not bad.
Yeah, I wonder if like the results of Lego Star Wars though makes them think like, maybe we don't do that. Maybe we keep these studios. Which is funny. It's a Warner Brothers studio that made Lego Star Wars, which is a Disney property. Or maybe they just keep the Lego guys and sell everything else. I don't know. Because Lego just seems like such a powerhouse. I guess we'll see like when Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad. Like I guess we'll see if they want to do that or not. But I don't know. I feel a little like weary about it because I think it works well for Disney. Although I honestly just kind of wish Disney made like new studios and like stuff like that, because it worries me that like we're already kind of seeing the video game space grow but shrink, if that makes sense. Like it's growing in popularity and mass and financials, but it's shrinking in how many studios exist. And like we've been seeing this for years already. I mean, we're seeing like mergers of Activision and Blizzard, and then they get bought by Xbox, and then same with Bethesda, and then Square Enix, Square
Yeah.
bought Enix or whatever, and then they consolidate, and now there's rumors about PlayStation buying them, and then that gets consolidated, and now Warner Brothers is like, well, we want to sell our shit, so we can just give it to PlayStation and Xbox to do their stuff, and then there's like only two companies making games, It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure I dig that too much.
That part of it sucks, but the fact that, Star Wars, Marvel, IPs are just kind of like floating around now. I like that because when it comes to Star Wars, it's like, yeah, just fucking throw Star Wars out, have a bunch of people make it. You'll have duds, you'll have good ones, and bring us back to the days of like, where we got fucking uh KOTOR and Jedi Knight in like the same year or the
Yeah,
same
but
2
that was
years
all
because
LucasArts, like
it was, but like they were doing something, Now that nobody's doing anything. We had EA and it was like, oh, this is shit. Well, the next one's also shit. Well, the next one's also shit. And you're like, can somebody else have it? Can we get like different perspectives on Star Wars? Like make it Visions, but for video games? Star Wars Visions, but for video games? Can we do that, please? Like, I don't want to be just a Jedi all the time. I don't want to be just, a bounty hunter. Let me live in the world in different areas and not just like one perspective from one art game director going, yeah, we got to stick with this and this is how it has to be and we can't go out of these parameters. It's like, no, let's have fun with it,
I guess
so
what bums me out about like if Warner Brothers decides to sell their shit is like they just have so many great studios that I really love. And I just know like if they sell these studios it's not going to be the same, like well, TT Games, who made the Lego games, and then Rocksteady, of course, NetherRealm, Monolith, Avalanche. Like these are all great studios.
yeah.
That it'd be kind of sad to see them go and turn into whatever they go. Like, of course, Rocksteady is going to be sold to someone, and they'll probably remain legendary. But like something like Avalanche Studios, I could see them
Yeah.
getting swallowed up and turned into some sort of Call of Duty assistant or whatever, which is a bummer because they made some great games like Mad Max and stuff. Like so.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been droning on too long. Let's end this thing. Next week in games, there's a 505 Games Spring 2022 showcase on May 17th at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Super early.
6 p.m.
6 a.m. baby, let's go.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, because I think they're like East Coasters, so
okay,
something like that. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song comes out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on May 19th. Check out our other shows like the Spoilercast. We just did a Doctor Strange one. It was a very fun conversation. I enjoyed it a lot.
That's good. It was a long one too.
Yeah, it was.
We had a lot to say about the movie.
Yeah. Anytime Austin's around, we just end up talking, which is great. It's not a bad thing. I love it.
It's nice having a third person because then like ideas just start bouncing. Like when it's one-on-one, it's like, yeah, the same idea kind of goes back and forth. But when there's a third person who gets an idea, that's just like, oh, but what about this? And you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And it's just like, that just reminded me of this. It helps with like topic lock,
Yeah, for sure. Like if someone could jump in right now and just be like, hey, I like pajamas and cereal
on bananas.
And we'd
pajamas
be like
on bananas.
We'd be like,
dude, do you remember that show? Yeah.
We'd be like, God damn, let's keep the show going for another hour and a half right now.
God, I can't.
Bananas
I cannot.
pajamas. Check out the show on Twitter at LonerCast1. Check me out on Twitter at EmergencePizza_. Check Nick out on Twitter at Fatal_Microwave. And
tons of nudes. All of those Twitters, it's all nudes.
It's all nudes. That's all Nick does. Just penis all the time. Check out the streams on twitch.tv/Lonercast. We do this live every Monday. And I've been streaming over there quite a bit. So check that out. Nicholas, I love your face. I want to fuck your face.
Well, I love your mom. So there you go.
I want to fuck your face.